In the 60s and 70s, Hollywood was filled with glamorous stars who became household names, icons of beauty, style, and charm. These actresses ruled the silver screen, captivating audiences with their unforgettable roles and larger-than-life presence. But what happened to these famous female sex symbols once the spotlight faded? In today's video, we're taking a closer look at some of the legendary women from the 60s and 70s who dominated the screen, and then mysteriously disappeared. Tuesday Weld was one of the most captivating actresses of the 60s and 70s. Known for her beauty and undeniable talent, she quickly rose to fame, becoming a prominent face in film and television. However, her departure from the limelight remains one of the quieter stories of Hollywood. Born Susan Kerr Weld on August 27, 1943, in New York City, she began her career as a child model to help support her family. Her striking features made her an instant standout, and by the time she transitioned to acting, her career was already gaining momentum. Weld made her film debut at age 12 in Rock, Rock, Rock in 1956. She gained widespread attention in the late 50s when she starred as Thalia Menninger in the hit TV series The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis on 1959 to 1960. This role showcased her comedic timing and established her as a fresh face in Hollywood. Despite her growing popularity, Weld avoided typecasting. She turned down roles in major films such as Lolita, 1962, and Bonnie and Clyde, 1967, focusing instead on projects that challenged her as an actress. Weld's career reached new heights in the 70s, with roles that earned her critical praise. She was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance in Looking for Mr. Goodbar, 1977. By the 80s Tuesday, Weld began stepping away from the entertainment industry. She appeared in a few notable films, including Once Upon a Time in America, 1984, but these roles became less frequent. She reportedly chose to focus on her personal life, rather than pursue the demands of a Hollywood career. Sue Lyon was one of the most striking faces of the 60s. Best known for her role in Lolita, 1962, she became a symbol of youthful beauty and a controversial figure in Hollywood. Despite her early fame, her career faded quickly, and she eventually stepped away from the limelight entirely. Born on July 10, 1946, in Davenport, Iowa, Sue Lyon moved to Los Angeles with her family after her father's death. She began working as a child model, which led to small roles in TV shows like Letter to Loretta and Dennis the Menace. At just 14 years old, she was cast in the lead role of Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of Vladimir Nabokov's novel, Lolita. Her performance as the seductive teen earned critical acclaim and won her a Golden Globe for Most Promising Newcomer. The role also made her a cultural phenomenon, as the film stirred debate due to its provocative subject matter. By the early 70s, Lyon's career began to lose momentum. She took on smaller roles in films like Evel Knievel, 1971, and Crash, 1976. But these projects failed to reignite her stardom. Her final screen appearance was in Alligator, 1980, after which she retired from acting entirely. Lyon's personal life was as tumultuous as her career. She married 5 times, including to Roland Harrison, a black photographer and football coach, which led to controversy during the racially charged 70s. Her final marriage was to a man convicted of murder, which raised eyebrows and further distanced her from the Hollywood elite. Pamela Tiffin was one of the most recognizable faces of the 60s. Born in Oklahoma City in 1942, her journey to stardom began when she was discovered during a visit to New York City. With her classic beauty and natural charm, Tiffin became a household name for a brief but memorable period. Her career took off in 1961 when she appeared in Summer and Smoke alongside Geraldine Page and Lawrence Harvey. That same year, she starred in Billy Wilder's comedy 1, 2, 3, playing a naive American girl caught in a Cold War misunderstanding. This role earned her a Golden Globe nomination for Best Supporting Actress, cementing her as a rising star. Tiffin was known for her work in light comedies and romantic films, which suited her youthful appeal. She appeared in State Fair, 1962, a musical remake of the classic Rodgers and Hammerstein story, and in The Pleasure Seekers, 1964, where she played one of 3 young women exploring life and love in Madrid. By the mid-60s, Tiffin shifted her focus to Europe, where she became a fixture in Italian cinema. Italian audiences embraced her, and she starred in several films, including The Archangel, 1969, and Torture Me, But Kill Me with Kisses, 1968. Her success in Italy was part of a broader trend of American actors finding opportunities abroad during this era. Despite her international success, Tiffin's career slowed down in the early 70s. By the mid-70s, she had largely stepped away from acting, with her last major film being The Fifth Chord, 1971, a crime thriller. Unlike many of her contemporaries, Tiffin avoided the Hollywood lifestyle, choosing to prioritize her personal life over her career. Sharon Tate was one of Hollywood's brightest stars during the 60s. Known for her striking beauty and undeniable screen presence, she made a significant impact in a short period. Born on January 24, 1943, in Dallas, Texas, Tate moved frequently due to her father's military career. Her beauty was evident early on, and she won beauty pageants as a teenager. These achievements set the stage for her career in Hollywood. Sharon's acting career began with small television roles in the early 60s. She appeared in shows like The Beverly Hillbillies and Mr. Ed, where her charisma caught the attention of producers. Her big break came in 1966, with her role in Eye of the Devil, a psychological thriller that showcased her potential as a leading actress. Tate's most recognized film is Valley of the Dolls, 1967. Playing the role of Jennifer North, a fragile yet determined character, Tate gained praise for her performance. The movie became a cult classic and solidified her status as a rising star. That same year, she starred in the comedy The Fearless Vampire Killers, directed by Roman Polanski, whom she later married. Their relationship made headlines, and they were considered one of Hollywood's most glamorous couples. Despite her talent and growing success, her career was tragically cut short in 1969. At just 26 years old, Sharon Tate became the victim of one of America's most infamous crimes. This event overshadowed her achievements, turning her name into a historical reference rather than a celebration of her work. Yvette Mimieux became a well-known face in the 60s, earning attention for her beauty and acting talent. She was born on January 8, 1942, in Los Angeles, California. Her mixed French and Mexican heritage gave her a distinctive look that set her apart in Hollywood. Mimieux began modeling as a teenager, which opened the door to her acting career. Her breakout role came in 1960 when she starred in The Time Machine, based on H.G. Wells' novel. Playing Weena, a character from a distant future, she gained instant recognition. The film was a major success, and Mimieux quickly became a sought-after actress. In the same year, she appeared in Platinum High School, solidifying her reputation as a rising star. Mimieux's career in the 60s was filled with notable roles. She appeared in Where the Boys Are, 1960, one of the first films to explore college spring break culture. In Light in the Piazza, 1962, she portrayed a young woman with a mental disability, showcasing her ability to handle serious roles. Throughout the decade, Mimieux starred in a mix of dramas, comedies, and thrillers. Her other films included The Reward, 1965, and The Picasso Summer, 1969. She also ventured into television, where she appeared in various shows and TV movies. Her fame, however, wasn't limited to her acting. Mimieux became a fashion icon, often featured in magazines and admired for her elegant style. Despite her success, Yvette Mimieux's career began to slow down in the 70s. She appeared in films like Skyjacked, 1972, and Jackson County Jail, 1976, but they didn't reach the same level of success as her earlier projects. By the late 70s, she began stepping away from Hollywood. Carol Lynley was one of the most recognizable faces of the 60s and 70s, known for her striking beauty and presence on screen. Born as Carol Ann Jones on February 13, 1942, in New York City, she began her career in the spotlight as a child model. Her early success included appearing on the cover of Life magazine at just 15 years old, a significant achievement that showcased her appeal and promise. Lynley's acting debut came in the 1958 Broadway production of The Potting Shed, which quickly led to her entry into films. Her breakout role was in Blue Denim, 1959, a drama that dealt with controversial topics for the time. Her performance earned critical acclaim and a Golden Globe nomination for Most Promising Newcomer. Her television career was equally notable, with guest appearances on popular shows like The Man from UNCLE, It Takes a Thief, and Night Gallery. By the late 70s, Lynley's career began to decline. While she continued to act in smaller roles, she did not manage to maintain the same level of prominence. Her choice of projects, combined with the changing landscape of Hollywood, may have contributed to her gradual disappearance from the big screen. Stella Stevens was a major Hollywood star during the 60s, known for her striking looks, charm, and versatility in both comedic and dramatic roles. She began her rise to fame after winning a Golden Globe in 1960 as Most Promising Newcomer for her performance in Say One for Me. This recognition paved the way for her career in movies and television, where she quickly became one of the most recognized faces of her time. Stella's breakout role came in The Nutty Professor, 1963, starring alongside Jerry Lewis. She portrayed the character of Stella Purdy, a part that showcased her comedic timing and made her an icon of the era. She also appeared in a series of other notable films, including Girls, 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 1962, with Elvis Presley, The Courtship of Eddie's Father, 1963, and The Silencers, 1966, one of the popular Matt Helm spy spoofs starring Dean Martin. Her career wasn't limited to movies. Stevens had a strong presence on television as well. She appeared in episodes of famous shows like Bonanza, Ben Casey, and Love Boat. In the 70s, she starred in Flamingo Road and made appearances in popular TV movies. By the late 70s, Stella's star began to fade. Hollywood was undergoing significant changes, with new faces and trends taking center stage. She transitioned to smaller roles and worked in low-budget films, including horror and action movies, which didn't capture the same level of attention. Barbara Eden, an unforgettable name from the golden age of television, became a cultural icon in the 60s. Known primarily for her role in I Dream of Jeannie, 1965 to 1970, Eden's journey through Hollywood showcased her versatility and star power. Born in Tucson, Arizona in 1931, Barbara Eden studied theater and music in San Francisco before moving to Los Angeles. She started her career with small roles in television shows like The Johnny Carson Show, 1955 to 1956, and guest appearances on I Love Lucy. Eden transitioned into film with roles in comedies and dramas during the late 50s. She appeared alongside major stars in movies like Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter, 1957, and The Seven Faces of Dr. Lao, 1964. Her natural charm and comedic timing quickly made her a standout talent in Hollywood. In 1965, Eden landed the role of Jeannie, a 2,000-year-old genie, in the sitcom I Dream of Jeannie. The show became an instant hit, thanks to its blend of fantasy and humor. Eden's portrayal of the playful and loyal genie opposite Larry Hagman as astronaut Tony Nelson made her a household name. The series ran for 5 seasons, ending in 1970, and cemented Eden's place as a television legend. After I Dream of Jeannie, Eden worked hard to avoid typecasting. She appeared in a variety of TV movies, including Harper Valley PTA, 1978, which was based on the popular song. The success of the TV movie led to a short-lived sitcom of the same name. However, as the 80s progressed, Eden's presence on television and in film became less frequent. Lana Wood was a prominent actress and sex symbol in the 60s and early 70s. Born Svetlana Gurdin on March 1, 1946, in Santa Monica, California, she grew up in the shadow of her famous older sister, Natalie Wood. Despite this, Lana carved out her own place in Hollywood, building a career in film and television. Her breakthrough came in the early 60s when she appeared in the TV series The Long, Hot Summer. This led to more roles, including guest appearances on popular shows like Bonanza, Dr. Kildare, and The Wild Wild West. By the late 60s, Lana Wood was making a name for herself as a rising star. One of her most notable roles was Plenty O'Toole in the 1971 James Bond film Diamonds Are Forever, opposite Sean Connery. Although the character was brief, it became iconic for its charm and humor, cementing her status as a sex symbol. Lana's glamorous look and confident presence made her a standout, even among the many Bond girls of the era. In addition to acting, Lana Wood was a sought-after model. She graced the cover of Playboy in April 1971, an appearance that showcased her appeal beyond the screen. This move aligned her with other actresses of the time, who leveraged modeling to enhance their fame. Despite her early success, Lana's career started to decline by the mid-70s. She struggled to find roles that matched the level of her earlier work. Her appearances became sporadic, with roles in lower-budget films and TV guest spots. Factors like typecasting and the industry's evolving preferences made it challenging for her to maintain the momentum. Dolores Hart was a Hollywood star in the 60s who became one of the most famous sex symbols of her time, only to surprise the world by leaving it all behind. Born in 1938, she began her career with big roles and quickly gained attention for her beauty and talent. Dolores Hart's career took off in 1957 when she signed a contract with Paramount Pictures. She appeared in several films early on, but her role in Loving You, 1957, with Elvis Presley was one of her biggest breaks. The film made her a household name, and her chemistry with Elvis put her in the spotlight. Her popularity soared as she starred in other successful films like Where the Boys Are, 1960, and The Pleasure of His Company, 1961. By the early 60s, Dolores was at the peak of her career, frequently appearing in romantic comedies and dramas. She became known for her charming on-screen presence and was often cast in roles that showcased her beauty and allure. At the time, she was considered one of the top actresses in Hollywood, with a promising future ahead of her. Despite her rising fame, Dolores Hart made a shocking decision in 1963 that would change the course of her life. At the height of her career, she decided to leave acting and enter a convent. She felt a deep spiritual calling and chose to become a nun, leaving behind the glamorous world of Hollywood. She took her vows in 1964 and became known as Sister Dolores, dedicating herself to a life of prayer, service, and helping others. If you found these stories of Hollywood's iconic female sex symbols fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stars who shaped the silver screen. Don't forget to leave a comment below. Which star's journey surprised you the most? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Stay tuned for more videos where we uncover the untold stories of the stars who once dazzled us but disappeared from the spotlight.